Hi, I'm Paul Seal from CodeShare.co.uk. Welcome to the second episode where I'm trying to show you how to build a basic Umbraco 9 starter kit. In the first episode, what we did was we created the site project and the models project. These won't be used as part of the actual package. You'll see what we do with the site project later. The models is purely so we can have IntelliSense whilst we're developing. And in the models, we've kept the default namespace, so it's got the best chance of working when other people install it in their sites. So what we want to do, I think, in this episode is we want to create a core project like this one here, and also the project where it will be used for the actual NuGet package. The core project is a NuGet package in its own right, and so is this one. Just meaning that this will be my starter kit, and this will be my starter kit.core, and my starter kit will depend on my starter kit.core, but you'll see as we go on. So first of all, let's go and create a folder in here and call it my starter kit assets. I think what I want to do is just add a CSS file. So I've got a good example of all the things that I want to do in my starter kit. So my starter kit assets, and let's add a CSS file in there. New item, and scroll down style sheet, and I'll just call it default.css. So in here, I'm just going to do a very basic background color. And just do like grey, light grey or something. Or I know, F1, F1, F1. Something like that. Hopefully we'll be able to see that. So in my views, in my master, I'm just going to reference this. So it will be in my starter kit assets and then default.css. Right, let's load the front end. As you can see, it's gone slightly grey. Maybe we should change that just to be a bit more noticeable. I don't want it to be too in your face, but oh well. Just so we can see that it actually does something. Yeah, that'll do, blue. Anyway, so that's the style sheet in there as well. So we want to distribute the style sheet as part of the starter kit, and perhaps you might have some views that you want to as well. I'll get onto that when we do it. But one of the things that I like to do is I like to modify this, because I like, with my block lists, I like to be able to set whether they're visible or not. So I changed some of the logic in here to actually check for the setting about the block being visible or not. So I try to include that in my packages. So if we go to on here, we go to clean starter kit, and then if we go to the clean package, this is our clean assets, which is similar to what we're working with, but also it's got a view in there as well. So what we're going to try and do as well is just to set this package up in a similar way. So we're bringing in the assets from the W root and the views as well, just in case there are any views you want to bring in. But I'll talk about that more shortly. Right, so that is these assets. You just imagine that you've got a load of JavaScript, CSS, images, all sorts of things that you want to put in there. Then let's create a new project, and this can be my starterkit.core. So we're going to call this it's going to be a class library called my starterkit.core, and this is going to have our C# files. Is our C# code for things that the package needs The only example I can think of at the moment is if we do like a basic extensions one. So if we do add new folder, extensions, and then if I create a new class, add class, and call it published content extensions. And in this, I'm going to make it public static class. This isn't important in terms of what we're getting to, but this is just having something in this core package. And then we'll say public static get content ID. I know it's a really stupid idea, but we'll do this I publish content, so it's an extension on that content. And this project doesn't know about umbraco at the moment, so similar to what we did with the models, we'll just make this reference that as well. So just a quick way of doing that is just copy that reference and paste it in on the project file for that. So now it should know about umbraco in here, and these should be resolved. It should be like, oh yeah, okay. We might need to add a using statement. There we go. So at the moment it's still red because it's not doing anything, and then we can just say return content.id. I know it's a really stupid extension method. I could have thought of something. Oh, and actually I'll do it as int. Oh no, I'll tell you what. No, that's fine. I can't think of anything better. Anyway, so get content ID. So let's add this as a reference in sites. So we'll do add reference, project reference to mystarterkit.core. So we can work with this locally, and I can now in my master, I can do at model dot get content ID, and it's complaining. It will complain because it doesn't know about this, because it doesn't know about the extension method. But if we do control dot, or if I have a look for it, it's not there. But what I can do is I can just add a using statement using my starter kit dot core dot extensions. Now it should know about get content ID, and then we can just say content ID is, and we can put that in a P. Again, completely pointless because you can just do model.id. So I want it to be pointless so you don't get sidetracked with, oh, we need to do this on my project, because we really don't need to do this. Let's refresh. Oh, so it's not been built yet. So what we need to do is go into here, do Control C to stop the site, do .NET build. Build the projects, and then do .NET run. I could have just done .NET run, and that would do the build as well. So that's a shortcut for you. But that built successfully anyway. So that's good. And if we go to the site and refresh, hopefully we'll just see a little paragraph at the bottom of each page that just says the content ID is this. There's no reason why you need to do that. There we go. But it's just showing you that I'm using that core project, and I'm using it locally to develop. But also when I publish my package will need to use this core. So I'll show you about creating that package. And then the final thing really we need to do is actually create our package that we're going to create the NuGet package for. So we need another project, add new project, and I'm going to call this, it's going to be a class library, and it's just going to be called My Starter Kit. It's going to be in the same location. So this doesn't have .site, .core, or .models on it. Create that. Delete that class that it gives. And so let's go into here on the clean starter kit and just have a look to see what this has got. So in the project file, if we come down to here, what it references is the clean.core NuGet package, but that's because I've already published it at this point. But at the moment we haven't published it. But what we can do is we can just copy these two, My Starter Kit, and we can just add this reference and delete clean.core. We don't want to leave that on because we don't need that one yet. So that item group there, so that's a reference to what we need here for web.backoffice, because in this we're going to be doing some package migrations. And what else do we need? We've got a logo as well. So let's do the logo, because we'll use this logo up here. So this has got some details about the NuGet package, and we'll come to that in a bit. So let's go down here. So what else is involved in this? So we've got a migrations folder. We've got the views. We've got a build folder with some targets, with a targets file. And we've got the assets as well. So views and assets. So it's really, there's not that much to it. There's the project file, which has got all the details about the NuGet package. That when we run .NET Pack, that's what it will use to know about how to label up this NuGet package. We'll have the migrations folder, which is going to have the package XML, which is what gets processed when this gets installed, and the build targets. So also, just so you know, I'm not an expert on building packages for Umbraco. I don't know the best way to do everything, so this is my experience on what I've done to create these starter kits that I've done, and there might be better ways, and if you do find better ways, then please feel free to comment in the video. I'm always up for learning. Part of the reason why I put myself out there and do these videos and blog posts is because other people will comment, and then I'll learn from it and I'll improve. Anyway, so what we need to do is we need to get on with creating all this. But before we do our migrations, we want to actually log into the back office and we want to create ourselves a zip file. So we'll say no thanks for this, and we're going to go to packages and created and create package. It's similar to how it used to be. Oh, actually, before we do that, I want to publish the models just to make sure that they're up to date. Yeah, so it's similar to how it used to be, in that you can manually create a package in the back office. But the reason why we're doing this is because if you remember when we looked in here, there's a package.zip, and in that package.zip, that's what gets processed, and what we are going to create in there is all of this. So we're going to call this My Starter Kit. We're going to choose the content we want to add, so that'll be home and include all child nodes. The media, we want to pick that one. Well, actually, yeah, that'll do. There's just one media item that's going to get picked. Document types, like with the media, you could pick a folder of media. I think on one of my projects I have like a folder with my sample images. This is just going to get created at the root. Document types, well, there are only two. Media types, I didn't create any custom media types, so I don't need to choose them. Macros, none. Languages, don't need to add that. If I did create some dictionary values, I could pick them. I know that I did add one thing, and that was the umbraco navi hide toggle. So that was a data type. So this is how you can include any custom data types you've created. The templates I want to include are these three. And do I want to include any partial views? Well, at the moment, I didn't create any partial views. But if I did, I could tick them in here, and they would get brought across with the package migration as well when it gets installed. So that's it for now. Don't need to select anything else, so I can just do create and then download. And if I go to my downloads folder, there is my package.zip. I'm just going to put that on the desktop for now. And we're going to come back to that. So in our Visual Studio, let's create a folder called migrations. And this is in the My Starter Kit project. So let's just check again. Are we doing it the same? So clean, and so that's the equivalent of My Starter Kit. So we've got migrations. So now I've got migrations, and in that folder, which I can also get to from here, I want to put the package.zip. So if I go to desktop, package.zip, and go back, I can paste that in there. So that matches with that. Then what I need is these three files. So first of all, we've got this one that says it's import package XML migration. And so what we can do is we can just get the raw code of this. It's just as simple as this. This is what I do. I just copy it from the files that I've already created. So in that migrations, I'm going to do add class. And this one is going to be called import package XML migration. Import package XML migration. I'm just going to paste this down here and just make sure the namespace matches up. And then just delete that really, because it's exactly the same name. And so what it wants to do is it wants to do this. So we don't have that created yet. If I go back and back again, we've got this publish root branch post migration. So what this does is it looks for the home document type and it publishes it, saves and publishes it. So we're going to do that as well. So this is how when it's applied the XML from the package zip, then it needs to be able to publish it. So again, we're going to create this file. So this file is called publish root branch post migration. So in there, add class publish root branch post migration, and we'll look at these files as well. I'm just going to paste that there, make sure the namespace is the same, and paste that over that namespace, and then just delete because we can use all of this. And what it's going to do is it's going to look for home and it's going to publish that and all its children, because that's the structure that I've got on this site. And if we just have a look at this document types for home, we'll just make sure that that is the same document type alias, which it is. And the third file in all of this is the starter kit package migration plan. So let's click on raw. We'll create this file and then we'll look at all of them in the right order. Starter kit package migration plan. So add class starter kit package migration plan. Enter on that. Again, same idea, paste it, grab the namespace, paste the namespace over, and then delete everything above. Right. And we want to do a new GUID because this is a unique GUID for this migration. So I like to go to online GUID generator, choose uppercase, and then generate some GUIDs. Copy that, paste that in there. So don't copy and use the same one as mine. And also the name of it, I'm just calling it My Starter Kit. So that wants to be unique as well. So let's have a look. We've got these 3 files and the package.zip file. So the 3 files are then, so starter kit package migration plan. So this plan here inherits from package migration plan. It passes the name of it down to the base and it defines a plan. And the plan is to run this. And so it runs this XML migration, which is that other file that we created. And it gives it the GUID of this so that when this migration is run, it records it in the database so that next time if it sees this, it knows whether or not it needs to apply it, and it shouldn't need to apply it. This looks like it's changed since I started doing it, saying that it's obsolete now, this signature. So there might be more that we need to do, but it does still work. I've not investigated it more yet, but if anyone else knows more about this, please feel free to comment, point me in the right direction, create a pull request for one of my packages that uses this. Anything like that, I'll be really interested. But essentially, this is passing in a load of services in the constructor for this import package XML migration. If we go back, that is what's being used here. And that is saying migrate. And this is the key bit, import package from embedded resource. And add post migration at the end, basically. So import the package from an embedded resource. So we need to make sure we embed the resource, which is the package.zip. And then what it does is it does this add post migration, which is the part which does the publish, the save and publish. So these are the 3 files that we need to get all this working, plus the package.zip. So we've set those up there, but don't forget there's others needed for this to all come together and work. So if we go back onto here and we have a look at it again, there was a build folder. So we're going to clean and then build as clean.targets. So we need to create a file similar to this, but call it mystarterkit.targets. So if we go to raw and copy that, and then we create a folder in here, and the folder was lowercase build, so I'm just going to do it the exact same way, and then do add a new file. I'm not sure if targets is a thing. I don't think it is. So I'm just going to do general and probably text file, but I'll just give it the name. So my starter kit dot targets and then add. So it recognizes it like that, and then paste this in. So we've copied it from the clean one, and we just need to do some finding and replacing. And also if we close this and go back in, it should have some lighting up recognizing it. So where we've got clean assets, we want it to use our assets. Also, where it's got views, we want it to use our views. Now, we don't have any assets copied over. What you can do is you can create either a build task that does like an X copy and copies the views or the assets that you want over. But as mine don't really change that often, I'm not going to do it. You could use gulp, which will do that as well. I don't really do that. I just copy that in because there's hardly any changes to mine. So what I'm going to do is just go to my starter kit .site in the W root, and I'm just going to copy that my starter kit .assets. So in here, if I open folder in File Explorer, I don't know why I did that. Oh well. So in here, I needed to create a WW root. So let's have a look at it again, just to compare it to this example. So clean, and we've got www root clean assets. So I need a folder www root, and then inside that I will paste my starter kit assets, and in that it's got the default CSS. So that's my W root. And if there was a view that I wanted to do, I mean, we could do it just for the sake of it. Maybe, should we just create a partial view? Yeah. No, I don't want to. Let's use the example of that block list one. Block list default. So what I'm going to do, the quick and cheating way is just copy the views folder into here, paste, and then I'm just going to go in and delete everything that's not it. There we go. So let's just say that when our package builds, we want to make sure that we keep this file. You don't have to, but this is just an example, just so we've got it the same. So let's go back into here, into our mystarterkit.targets. So what it's got is an assets file path and a views file path to start with. So let's just do a find and replace on this. So H in the current document, clean assets, and we'll replace it with my starter kit assets in the current document. So that has updated that. And clean views we will replace with my starter kit views. So that's updated that as well. And we also have clean hyphen assets. We'll replace that with my starter kit assets. Replace all that. So I think that is all the finding and replacing we needed to do there. Let's just try and make sense of it. So what it says is, using MS Build, this file directory, go up a level and find the W root folder and my starter kit assets and get everything from inside that. And the same with the views. And that's the file path for these, right? So then it's saying copy the my starter kit assets. So it uses the file path, so it gets everything from my starter kit assets file path. Copy and clean asset files. It does a count of them and it reports it into the log, basically using that message text. And as long as we've named everything correctly, this should work. My starter kit assets, yeah. So that's going to put all those in there. And the same with the views as well. So these are for the views that I want to always be overwritten. What I found when doing my package, I copied all of my views over, but what happened was on build it kept overwriting it. So if people installed my starter kit as a starting point and then wanted to edit it, every time they did a build, they lost all the changes, and it got really annoying. So that's why I reduced it down to just that block list where it's got my changes to be able to do the hidden or not. So that's one thing to look out for, but there are things you can do with MS Build where it looks to see if it's been changed or all sorts of things, but I'm not that advanced with MS Build or anything like that. This is about my limit with it so far. So we've got the targets, we've got the migrations, we've got the views, and we've got the W root. So the last thing to do is to set up our CS proj file for the actual package. Its target framework is .NET 5, and it's referencing this. Now what we can do, again, in the spirit of copying and paste and just cheating the whole way through, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this, because nothing about this should be any different really. It's even using the same version of Umbraco now for the back office 901. So I'm just going to paste this in here, and we'll do some deleting and replacing, things like that. So where it's got clean, we can replace that, and the package project and all of this. So let's just go through and do that. So assembly version, let's just change this to be 1. So where it's got that, do 1.0.0, current document replace. The target framework is that, the author is me, content target folders is product is clean. So let's replace clean with my starter kit. And if we do match case as well, that will mean that it doesn't get confused with the package project URL. So let's replace all of those in the document. So this is my starter kit for Umbraco. We've got a logo. So whenever I do a package, I always create a basic logo. I mean, they're not really up to much, but it's in images and then logo. So it's that on this one. So we could create a basic logo, or we could just, what should we do? I'll show you what I do. So I go to my downloads. This is my method. Let me just go off here and just find it. Basically, go to my downloads. I've downloaded Font Awesome, and I go into the SVGs, and I pick what I want to do. I don't know if I can use Umbraco. Solid. Let's just pick one of these. So this is my starter kit. I don't know if I can get a preview on SVGs or not. I don't know. Angle double left. What's that one like? Woohoo! And then what I tend to do is just basically create like an image from it. So print screen. I color it blue and I save it. Let's not get too technical or bogged down by this. 530, 450, come on. Hey. So I'll do save as and then desktop and call it logo.png. And then I'll grab that from the desktop and I'm going to put it in my project at this root level of it here, do an images folder and then paste it in there. So it's exactly the same. So it's in images logo PNG. Right. I need to push that up to my repo as well, so that when I reference the icon URL, it will find it in there. Now let's just do a replace on this, because my package project, my GitHub project URL is slightly different. So if we have a look at this, this is my GitHub project. So if we go in here and just replace on the first part of the GitHub URL and replace it with mine. There we go. And then what we've got is in the master branch. So do I have a master or a main? I don't know. I have a main, so I just need to make sure that that's the same. But you should really go in and get the actual URL for your image. You know, just do it properly, but I'm just doing a quick find and replace here. So that's my project URL. So that's the GitHub project. This is the icon for it. This is the repo. It's the same thing as the project. Repository type is Git. I've chosen to use MIT license. Then what do we have here? So the build transitive. So this is I don't fully understand this, but basically I think this has got to do with the build targets, and basically gets it to do these. This part is telling it to include my assets, so I want it to be my starter kit assets. So where it's got that, I want it to be my starter kit assets. And copy to publish directory always. Then non-remove views, components, contact, default. Right, so what I want to do is I want to update that to be the one that I want to keep on here. So it's views partials, block list, default. So say content include views, exclude from single file, true, copy, yeah, always. Then I've got this migrations package.zip file. So, and I'm say non-remove, and then I say embedded resource. So this actually puts it inside the DLL, that package.zip. It puts it inside the DLL as an embedded resource, so that when the package migration runs, it reads it from there. So it's already part of the package itself. I've got my reference to Umbraco CMS Web Backoffice, and I've got my reference to my starterkit.core. I've not published that one yet, but we will need to have one of these for that as well, which we can go off and do in a moment. And then we've got this for the logo, and that's how I can reference this. Probably don't need two ways to reference the logo, but hey ho. Let's go to my starterkit.core. So this needs updating as well. What better way to do it than to copy from an existing example? So if we go into here, clean.core, let's do some copying. This one's a lot smaller. Again, I'm using the same reference, so if I paste it over this, nothing is different. I'm just adding to it. So do a replace on the version. Feel free to skip through this if this bit's not interesting for you. Don't forget you can speed me up and just replace clean.core with my starterkit.core. Core library for the My Starter Kit. And again, just need to replace the project URL. So I'll probably find that in here. Okay, and change that to be main. Yeah, and then really the only things are the package references to that and the logo. Same Git and MIT and all of that. So what I'm probably best to do now is to push up my changes. So I'm going to ignore these, ignore this. I'm going to push up my changes to Git so that I've got my image and things like that. Oh, actually, there's an out of date flag. For some reason it's out of date, so let's just go in. When you see the out of date flag, generate models, that should go away. Don't know why that's not gone away. Oh, maybe it's old. I don't think I'm using those models anymore. I'm using the models in here in the models project. So I think I can just delete that. Right, so I've got all those changes. I'm just going to push that up so that way my image is up there as well. So second episode, first commit. Lovely, meaningful messages. That's what you should put in. Push that up. So now we're nearly at the point where we're going to generate the NuGet package. This is the exciting bit. Well, sort of. So one problem we're going to have is my starter kit depends on a package that doesn't exist yet. So what I want to do is I want to just take that off for now. I don't know, can you comment out in this? Yeah, it looks like you can. So if I save that now, that dependency, it's not worried about it anymore. The only thing is it's probably going to complain that it can't find. Might not. Yeah, it might not complain. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into here. We're going to do Control C. We're going to come out of this cd ... So we're at the root of the project and we're just going to do .NET. Let's just do a build, just see that everything builds. Yeah, build succeeded, thank you. Right, .NET pack. So this will create NuGet packages if it finds any that are relevant. And what we can see in here is we've got my starterkit.core one and my starterkit models, don't need that, and my starterkit one NuGet package. So let's go in here and we're going to copy my starterkit core in the bin, debug, copy that NuGet package. Now I've created myself a local NuGet package feed. So in the package manager console, you can click on package manager settings and you can define your own. So you can click on add and then basically you can just say a place on disk. So I've put mine in a folder called D local packages. So if I go to that folder there and just paste it in here, then I've now got my package available, and that was the core package. So that's there. And now because I have that there and I've got it ticked on my package manager settings, click cancel, I can go back into my starter kit and I can put that reference back in KU and it will know about that package now. So that should disappear, the warning symbol, which it has. So now it knows about that package because I've got it locally. It doesn't care where it comes from, whether it's from NuGet or any of your NuGet sources. So that's how I do that. And now when I build it again, what I want to do is I just want to go back into my package. I want to go into here, bin, debug. Just delete that one that it generated for 1.0.0 because it didn't have a reference to the core project. But now I've done that, I can run it again, .NET pack. And it's there, my starter kit. So if we go to local packages and paste that in there, we've got both of them. We've got my starter kit and my starterkit.core. So we are at the point really where we can test it out. Shall we install it on a brand new project? So let's go into our console, do clear. So let's cd out of this, cd, cd demo, make a directory, test my starter kit, and we go cd test my starter kit. So we're in that folder now, and I want to say to it to install Umbraco, but use my package. So let's go back to the website again. What we're using, the Umbraco 9 snippets. Don't forget that was from the homepage of CodeShare, and then click on that. That's what I do. You don't have to. So again, what we can do is we can do an install. We'll go down to here, .NET New Add My. What we'll do all of this, but I'm just going to put it into a notepad first of all. Paste that, and then I'm just going to change the package. So this is going to be my starter kit. So everything else can stay the same. And if I just put this should all work. That's my extra line, so that when I paste it, it should just all do it, so I won't have anything outstanding. But yeah, this is going to install our NuGet package onto a clean install of Umbraco. So this is the test. And we just paste it in there and wait and see. It looks like it's found the package. It's doing it all. So the exciting bit is when we do .NET, when .NET Run happens, and you see it start to install the pages. So we're looking for home and about to get installed. So first it's going to complain it's got no connection, but this is just the unattended install and how it works. It tries about 5 times until it can get a connection. Here it is. It's got a connection. It's installing Umbraco. Now installing my starter kit. Look, document home has been published. Document about has been published. So it started here, my starter kit, import XML package migration there, and then it's installed home and about. So this is exciting. So we're going to click on this, and we should see the website that we created as a starter kit installed onto a brand new website. Wow, look at that. It just worked first time. I can't believe it actually worked first time. And if I go to about, yeah, that is cool, isn't it? So that's our starter kit. That's the very basic example on how to do all of this. I'm really chuffed with that, actually. I'm pleased it all worked first time. I don't know what to say. I think we've come to the end, haven't we? So yeah, I hope you liked the video. If you do like the video, please click on like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing more videos about Umbraco 9, probably a whole series on how to build a certain site. Some people want to say thanks by buying me a coffee. There's no obligation, but you can if you want to. Go to codeshare.co.uk/coffee. But as I say, it's always free, everything I do anyway. But that's up to you if you wanted to. Yeah, I'm just going to push all this up to the repo. Oh yeah, last thing I suppose, and how you do all of this. What you want to do at the end when you've created your NuGet package, you probably want to go on to NuGet.org. So that package that we put locally, the exact same thing can go on to NuGet. So if I do manage packages, these are the packages that I've got. If I do add new, upload, and then I do, what was it called? It was called my starter kit. We'll do the core one first. So it's got the crappy icon. You can add to the README. I'm not sure how you do it. Maybe, oh yeah, you can pull the URL of the README file, but it's not that great, is it? So there's no point pulling that in at the moment. But yeah, I think you can pull the URL of that. And then you would just submit that. Shall I do it for a laugh? MyStarterKit.core, yes. Go on, and the world's crappiest starter kit. And I'll do another one, manage packages. This is like the bonus material at the end. It's not really bonus. Browse my starter kit, and this one depends on mystarterkit.core and the Umbraco CMS web. Submit. So one thing to look out for when you're trying to install my starter kit and you've done it on yours, you might find that you actually install mine if you actually call it the exact same, because I've actually published it on a real NuGet. Anyway, yeah, I suppose the last test would be if when I've deleted those from my local NuGet package feed, and I then do that script, this script. I might stick that in the README actually. Have I pushed everything up? Oh dear me, this is funny. Right, ignore that. Ignore that. Oh no. Yeah, I'll add it to the README later, but yeah, I've done. So I'm really happy. That worked first time. You've seen a very, very basic example on how to do it all. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments, and yeah, please share it with people and contribute if you've got any better ideas on how to do things. All right, I'm going to cut it off here. Thanks for watching. Bye.